Amsterdam International Radio.
Now we're on the record. Don't say live shit. We're on the record.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
You trying to tell me
He's walking like he's getting into church to do a preacher.
You trying to tell me, Jeff, that you believe that if you say some shit magically it's gonna happen to you?
No, fuck
it's
that.
Dumb.
Shit. Fuck that shit. That's the dumbest shit ever.
It's dumb.
But I expect that from him.
I thought it was a stupid.
If you listen to all this shit, we're talking about Charlemagne the God, by the way. We'll introduce ourselves in a minute. Yeah,
I think it's dumb. I think it's the timing. This is like a day after this happened, and then
let me
introduce
what we're talking about.
Let Nick introduce. So I'm too heated.
As we all know, one of the young SoundCloud rappers, one of the most talented ones of his generation, has been shot and killed. Nothing related to music at all. It was just a murder. It was an armed robbery.
Yep. Just
gone bad.
To buy a bike.
And rest in peace. Anyway, a lot of people have been sending their condolences and giving their reaction to the death of XXXTentacion. And Oliver believes the Breakfast Club version of it was really disrespectful.
It was horrible.
I think the worst one was Hot 97.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But first of all, I want to say, rest in peace to XXXTentacion.
Rest in peace, man.
We did an episode in this podcast a while ago.
2 episodes, I think.
Right before he was popular.
Yeah, right before he was popular, about viral rappers and like the influence. You play this music here, and that's when he was, just coming up. And I was a huge fan of the music. I was vocal about that from the beginning. I think we all became fans of the music. So it's really sad to see someone this talented.
I wasn't that much of a fan of his earlier stuff, but the latest album.
I
remember
I thought the latest one was the best one. He was really coming up. Number one on the Billboard. Number one on the Billboards.
Yes,
Sad was so good.
Sad is really good.
Number one on the Billboard.
Yeah.
This is like off SoundCloud. Like he's, almost entirely independent.
It's wild.
He doesn't have like huge companies behind him or something like that. This is all just.
This guy had all the trappings. He had everything ready for him to just move.
Mm-hmm.
Just get there. He had some shit going on. And a lot of these rappers and in hip hop, everybody has some shit going on. But yeah, he had everything ready to move. The music was on point. I think he was just getting clear of all these accusations and all those kind of things.
Yeah, he was getting.
I think he was even ready to making some new music, dropping some albums.
He was doing charity work. He was talking, trying to give people advice.
He was about to launch his charity in Florida the day after his death.
His music changed.
They did it. They still did it.
His music changed people's opinion on him.
Yeah.
So
he gave 6ix9ine advice. He did a video of him telling 6ix9ine. There's a video of him telling 6ix9ine to
so
not.
he was becoming a force of
stop
good.
With the
Well, people now see how impactful he was. Also, in a lot of his fans, a lot of these kids struggling with depression came to him. So he was struggling with depression for a long time. And he was always talking to his fans through Instagram Live or whatever. And after his passing, also a lot of these moms of these kids were hitting his page up, which was still being managed by his people, saying that they're really thankful to the fact that he allowed their kids to open up to them about depression, which wouldn't have happened without him. So, rest in peace.
He was a force of good, but then you got these radio people fucking up.
Really good segue. So the one I'm talking about now is the one on the Breakfast Club. Right? They did it. Shortly after that happened, I think the day after, they on the rumor report with Angela Yee.
Angela Yee was not in the room.
But she wasn't there. They say rumor report Angela Yee, but she's not there. Yeah. I think it would have been better, by the way, if she would have done it.
She would have said, nah, you need
if she was there, I think it would have.
That's the only reason why I think Angela Yee is good on that show. She reins these guys back.
That too, but here's the thing. This is specifically, they have different segments, right? This is specifically the rumor report with Angela Yee. Even in this one they did, even though she wasn't there, they show her picture, you hear the whole.
Yeah.
So normally she does it. They are in the background. She does the whole story, and then they have little reactions at the end. She wasn't there, so now it was left to Charlemagne and Envy.
Charlemagne is the one who does the Donkey of the Day segment.
Now people know who he is.
So he's not really, but he's not really. He shouldn't be doing the rumor report.
I'm sure he did, but I saw him speaking a lot of death. Okay, I saw him saying online a few times for people to kill him, and I believe in Proverbs 18:21, which is the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So whatever you tell the universe you want, you will receive, and that's all I have to say about that. But we also need to be more concerned about the person or people who killed this young man, because those people are still out there. And to me, those individuals are way worse than XXX Tentacion could ever be, because to my knowledge, the young man XXX has never killed anyone. So we need to get those people off the street before they kill you or somebody you love.
Right. I don't care about his past. He didn't kill anybody. You know, yeah, he had a dark past. He was raised by his grandmother. They say that he didn't feel like he fit in. He was depressed all the time. But the man was changing his life, and even if he mentioned death 17,000 times, it doesn't mean that it's okay.
No.
Killed.
The energy you put out is the energy you get back. We have to watch the things that we say. There is power of life and death in the tongue. Period. Speak life. Like, wake up in the morning and say, "Thank you, God, for blessing me with another day of life." Gratitude should be your attitude. Like, embrace life. Like stop embracing death all of the damn time.
But also, Tekashi 6ix9ine, I guess
we've got the point. So basically, he says that what you speak out into the universe is what you get. So that's so someone dies and you go, well, I'm not gonna judge him for the things he did, but I will acknowledge what I said. He was speaking a lot of death, and what you put out into the universe is what you get. So that's what
he's fucking things up. Because what he's talking about is not the craziest thing. He's talking about. Listen, no. I'm bringing it another way. What I assume he's talking about is this. A lot of these
decided to give Jeff a mic today.
Shut the fuck up. What he's talking about is that a lot of motivational people say you need to give yourself some positive talk, so you in your mindset are positive. So you're not negative.
That doesn't apply to this when someone.
That's what I'm trying to say. He's saying some bullshit here, using that same method.
No, he's quoting Proverbs.
Yeah, but that is also some
chapter something else.
I think he's just out of touch with. He's out of touch with the kids. With this, he doesn't know XXXTentacion.
No,
a lot of times people mention it to him.
They don't even care.
They couldn't even pronounce his name.
They don't even care.
Yeah, but a lot of times I've asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, this kid, I don't know." He talks about him like he's a nobody.
Yeah,
not that he's a very impactful artist for kids who Dame Dash called the Tupac of this generation. You know,
that's what all these older.
That's what you really see. Yeah, you see that. You see the difference between like how even Joe Budden, who I feel is more in tune and like academics and other people talked about it, and then you go to other radio shows where they're just outdated, just old, outdated. They're interviewing artists, no one cares. Yeah. It's just boring, and it's just this. It's like they don't. Think about like if someone like I don't know, Kanye West died or something
Kendrick
like. Just imagine how they would have talked about it then.
He was a saint.
They would have made it. It would have been a much bigger story to them. But they don't get that for the people that are of a younger generation that really listen to this kid's music. That's the equivalent. Mm-hmm. So for them, they don't care. And I guess it's their show; they can say whatever they want.
I want to get into.
I thought that was corny. But apparently it gets worse. Play me the other one, because I didn't even hear the other one. This is my
last. 97.
I would need to search it right now so that
I haven't heard that either.
But,
we'll talk about it. So
we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
on Hot 97, like that's the Ebro.
Why don't you look it up?
Shit.
So we can.
No, in the middle, just to butt in.
We haven't even introduced ourselves yet. We're that far in it, but okay.
It's all right.
Go ahead.
We're hyped.
Ladies
and gentlemen, it's 3 Angry Men. My name is Oliver.
Nick.
Jeff.
And today, I think we're going to be talking about, we'll start off talking about the way the media responded to the death of young rapper XXXTentacion. Once again, rest in peace. There were a lot of negative responses. There were a lot of positive ones too. I want to talk about the positivity too.
Yes.
Not just all the
should we do some positive before we go into
Listen,
this?
Well, you know, the Joe Budden podcast. Why you look this other fuck shit
before
up?
Before that, like, I mean, I was one of the people that didn't like his music in the beginning. I didn't like what he stood for. I didn't like X's just his actions online. But he grew into something that really did make a change. His talents. He showed that he was very multifaceted into doing more than hip hop. He changed his ways. He was helping the kids. Really changed my opinion of him. I don't change my opinion that quickly, but I did. And these people seem to, the radio personalities, the older ones, don't seem to have understood. Like, don't seem to be following up on what's going on.
You know, one thing I think really needs to be addressed also in those situations is that dude was 20.
Yeah.
He was 20.
Motherfucker was young.
My little brother is older than 20.
Yo.
Yeah. You understand me? He's 20.
It's insane.
He's 20.
Same.
What are we talking about?
You're talking about a young kid like that. You're not even giving him the benefit of the doubt. Not giving. This also to all these people on Twitter, Facebook, and all these other places. Mostly I don't know. We're not going there.
Yeah, good.
I had to rein myself back in.
Good.
I'm too high for this.
I know what he was going to say.
All of these people on the internet talking about, yeah, he was a bad guy. He doesn't deserve my respect. He doesn't deserve to rest in peace and all that bullshit. Fuck you.
Yeah, here's my. Well, I agree with that 100%. By the way, definitely fuck you. But also the thing I think is just, I think it's very egregious that even if someone that I think is horrible dies,
for sure. Yeah.
I would never go put on my computer, open Twitter, log in if I'm.
You're taking the time
and then type. Oh well, I don't think
280 fucking characters.
If you didn't like him, then just leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that difficult?
You don't have to say
just leave it.
I mean, people don't really see.
Just
what
leave
I was,
it. Like, why does it have to be?
It was sickening to read through these Instagram comments.
This is like Twitter, Instagram, yeah, same.
Doesn't matter who dies. Like the funny thing is, these people, they were treating it and they were commenting as if this guy is a character who got killed off a show. They don't understand that because this guy's on your screen that he's still a real person. This is a real thing.
Person, yeah.
We talked in an earlier. This is getting a long segment, but I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, it's relevant.
We talked earlier about how people put too much stock into artists with the Kanye episode. Like they feel too much about this. This is again the same fucking thing. He's not all the bad things you see of him is not what he is only. He's more than that. He's a kid with a parent. He probably had a kid also, I think. He has a girlfriend. He has friends.
His girlfriend was pregnant, yeah.
But that turned out to be false.
Yeah.
Think about this shit. If your brother or sister dies for whatever reason, I don't wish that on any of the people listening here. But if your brother or sister dies for some reason and people swarm their Instagram or social media, or even just write letters to you saying that he was not a saint, he was not
he was no angel.
He was no angel, that kind of bullshit. What would you do? You'd flip the fuck out.
That's disgusting. I just think it's disgusting. I think it's very it's just unnecessary. Even if you don't like the person or you think the person did very bad things, then just leave it. Right? Then just don't talk
You're
about like why
did you write a tweet 280 negative. You're thinking of 280 characters, making up sentences. I've seen these sentences. No, normally you see all on Twitter, everybody makes mistakes in their
because
grammar.
What they do is they say it and then a fan corrects them on some like shit that they make up. Like, oh, he did this. I was like, actually, no. And then they go further, but still.
You're writing 10 tweets. Like I saw all these. I saw Young Talk saying like, stand up. That hurt me when I saw that. Young Talk tweeted out like, stand up, like get up, like he basically saying like, we don't want you to leave.
Yeah, but that's probably when the video just came out.
That is insane.
Yeah, there's just people that did when it just came out. I also saw 2 Chainz saying, I hope this isn't true, but if it is, because that's when people didn't know. Is this because when I heard it too, I was like, nah, it's
like hip hop.
Yeah, I told you. You
it's
didn't
too shocking.
It.
Well, it was too shocking. I was like, what the fuck you mean he's dead? Wow.
Yeah, I mean he's there were death hoaxes on him before.
Also,
that's why.
I was like, no.
But this one, because I knew it was real. I told you I knew it was real because I saw it from the official police Twitter.
I hadn't seen that.
Put the report out.
I thought it was fake until I'm in a group chat with some other people. Like it's just fun and jokes. But then people posted it. They also like him. People posted this, and you saw the video of him in the. That's also some stupid shit. Why the fuck do you film somebody?
I don't get.
It was dying.
I don't get.
Call the fucking police.
Apparently, somebody. There was a crowd of people around.
There should be laws for things
at the scene. Yeah.
No, I'm not joking. I'm actually dead serious. How is that? Now, how is that allowed? How is that allowed?
It should
like
be
you
your
can't
duty.
post certain but literally like there's certain videos you can't post to the internet. So why is it possible to post videos of people dying?
There's a website for everything, really.
Okay, but this was like TMZ. Like it was on YouTube for a second. I don't know if it's still on YouTube. They probably took it down on YouTube by now. But
if you want to film him, and I don't want you to film him, but if you don't want to film him, call the ambulance first. When they are there, then you film. When they're making sure that he's at least. They're trying to make him live.
I think it's a very big if it's a situation that needs to be filmed because there needs to be evidence because something bad is happening. Yeah. You need to. That's different. This guy's dead.
This is not. Everyone is gone already. The guy's dying.
But one of the good. Oh yeah.
I mean, what world do we live in where people are pulling out their camera phones when someone gets shot before calling anyone? What was a phone for in the beginning?
Again,
anyway?
Think about this as your own life or your brother's or sister's life or anybody else. Would you want 20, 30 people to stand around there film that shit?
Stand up. Cameras out filming it. I don't get it. But anyways, So there were different reactions. Did you find the thing?
I found a Joe Budden one, so we can play that.
That's not the one that we need. We need the other one, Jeff.
It's a long one, 20 minutes. You want to go through that?
I want to see the part that you're talking about. Jeff is so difficult. It's very basic stuff that he needs to do, and he can't do it.
I want to add to that.
The Hot 97 radio show had a response.
While Jeff is looking,
I don't know what it was. I heard it was bad. I'm gonna watch it. Show it to me.
Is that the part?
Let me watch it.
I'm trying to get to the right part.
Just put your headphones on. We'll talk while you're looking for it.
Talking. I'll find the right part.
What I find really impressive, though. No, I didn't.
Go ahead.
That's what. What's interesting and what is amazing about XXXTentacion is that I am 100% sure he's going to be inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. At 20 years old, he's managed to get in there right now already. To be called the Tupac of this generation. And these kids now don't know.
People are not gonna like
that. People aren't gonna like that. But it's true to these kids, people younger than us.
The key term there also is of this generation, right? Like again, to these old people who don't listen and don't know and don't care. Right? It's like, oh no, because Tupac was this and that. But why I find it so accurate is because Tupac, the thing that was so influential about him was beyond his music. He was also he was like a motivational speaker. Like he did speeches and stuff. He inspired people through his music, but also outside of it, people liked him, the person. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Tentacion is exactly the same way.
So to a certain audience.
Yeah. Well, and it's not a small audience.
No, it's a
There were riots there at his memorial.
And that's why.
I mean, thousands of people came.
Thousands. In multiple cities.
When does that happen? When does that ever? When has that ever happened to an artist who's 20 years old or who died too young?
That's my point. Think about your favorite artist. Think about it. You really think that would happen?
Okay,
think of impact.
And wanting to.
Will it happen when Gambino?
Yeah, and the I'm sorry, Laura. The artists seem to all be saying he was really making changes, and I really don't like to define people only by the worst things they ever did, because obviously people feel really strong about that he did great things. I just personally can't completely. I didn't know him, so maybe if I did, I would just be sitting here being like, "Rest in peace, King. Your soul, you the greatest." Maybe I'd feel that way. Since that's not who I am. I'm simply an observer who watched it. I go. That's tragic. He's 20 years old, but this was also a very complex individual with a really
don't do it.
There's a lot of negative attached to him, and it sucks that it ended this way. It really, really does. But yeah, the story that came out in the Miami New Times a couple of weeks ago was a really damning, sad story of someone who was pretty messed up. And it sucks. Yeah. It's just a tragic story with a tragic ending. There's just no way around it. That's what it is.
And like I said about 30 minutes ago,
what does his own complex personality have to do with being murdered? Armed robbery.
By another person.
It can happen to anyone.
This was not, he was not targeted in any way. If he was targeted,
the only reason he was targeted,
but he didn't do anything.
No,
you see my point?
He was not, but he was not targeted for his music or anything.
That's what I'm saying. For himself. Yeah. It was targeted because he seemed, because of his car, because of his chain, because of his bag, that it's a rich kid, and they try to rob him, and he resisted.
They go on for 20 minutes like this.
Yeah,
the title is "How Will He Be Remembered?"
By them. By them.
Like I just don't get when we started doing the thing of like someone died. Let's see how we feel. Let's look at all the stuff they did in their life. Let's see if we should give a fuck, or if we should respect it at all, or if we should hate them or like it. Why?
And if you're a religious person, isn't that exactly what the Bible says about Judgment Day?
I don't get.
If you believe
God judges,
that's why Charlemagne's an idiot.
Charlemagne, I'm not buying the second book, man.
I'm not gonna judge him, but I'm gonna judge him. Like what?
He said. Rosenberg said the same thing. The thing with Rosenberg is if you do one time and people tell you like, hey, Joe Budden said outright after he did the first time, he did it 3 times, by the way. Let me go back to the beginning. Before he did it on radio and they put out this video, he did it first on sports radio. This is not hip hop at all. These people don't know Tentacion. They don't care.
They're having a show about sports. The thing happens. He stops the whole thing. He says, hey, I know you guys are not in hip hop, but I'm in hip hop, so I have to report this. Interrupts the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about something
just died different. In Miami, da-da-da. They don't know who the fuck that is.
They ask
who is that? Well, He was no angel.
Nick.
For what? You didn't even need to talk about it.
Why?
You didn't even need to talk about
Put
it.
it in there.
Like, I think this is one of those cases where that old rule of if you don't have anything good to say about someone,
Don't say shit.
don't say anything. This, if it applies anywhere, this should be where it applies.
Yeah.
When someone dies,
It should always fucking.
I think that should be the place where it really, like, the number one place it applies. If you have anything good, just leave it. Just leave it. Because what are you gonna do? We need to talk about it because he's dead. You need to talk about it to create a way. The guy is no longer alive. Like, what's the point of talking about it?
If you want to talk about it, at least give the family some time to just get through this shit.
Unless we're gonna go, because they're gonna talk about the stuff that he did. We're gonna go into that too, because we talked about that before. I don't know if that was the Spotify episode, but we'll have to get into that again, because people are gonna tell us, oh, well, you're supporting such and such.
Well, I mean, I never thought I would. When I first heard him, I never thought there would come this day that I would be defending him that much, and recognizing how impactful he is. So.
Now, this is most
awesome.
of this is actually. It's sad he died, but this most of this doesn't have anything to. It doesn't matter what happened around him. That his death, as unfortunate as it is separate from all of this shit we're talking about right now. This ties into the main topic we wanted to do. For me, at least in a part, we have like this old guard of hip hop. There's we have the good parts. We have JC, we have Pusha, we have J Rock, we have what are all the other people that
who just released an album. We're gonna go into it.
Royce the 5'9". We have those people talking about difficult stuff. Kanye also to an extent talking about difficult stuff.
He lost his mind though.
He lost his mind. But these people are talking about difficult stuff. They are using their platform in a useful way. Joe Biden is the same way. He talks about depression and mental illness all the time.
Yeah.
That's probably, you know what? That's a good point. That's probably why his reaction was different from anyone else, because he understands.
That is true.
That's probably why, because he probably, because of his background, understands it a lot better.
You would assume that Charlemagne would also understand, because he also talks about mental illness.
No, but it's anxiety. That's different.
But he hasn't. I don't even believe him.
I
don't even buy his shit at all.
This busy lifestyle.
But you have this old guard.
I have anxiety sometimes.
You have this old guard that's talking about shit in a way that teaches people stuff. It's useful. It's interesting content. It is basically hip hop maturing. But then you get these motherfuckers.
Play that thing, man. What else? What else? I want to watch it too. I want to see.
It really, really does. But yeah, the story that came out in the Miami New Times a couple of weeks ago.
This is a bit back.
Was a really damning, sad story of someone who was.
Why are you bringing the story that came up in the Miami News Times a few weeks before? How is that relevant? Why are you even?
Because that's all
he
he
gives you
knows.
the exact article too. Like he wants you to go read it.
I mean,
like why?
This is exactly the point. This guy Rosenberg's out of touch with this topic.
It's not out of touch.
This is all he knows about him.
He wants radio plays. He wants people to listen to this shit. He wants YouTube views.
And it sucks.
I generally believe this is all he knows about.
I want to see what Ebro says.
And like I said about 30 minutes ago, if you out here playing with death, and you're asking death to come for you in some sort of way.
A similar dumb shit. Why are they all so stupid? I'm just gonna. I don't care. Why are they all so stupid? Like why is this me?
I don't know.
Who doesn't believe in like stupid? So, like if a black cat walks next to you, what's the batch is gonna happen? Does it just mean it doesn't believe in superstition or? Like
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know.
Or because there's a difference between Tekashi 69 is the best example. Right?
Yeah.
That's someone who's playing with death or calling on death in the sense that he's calling people out, right?
And asking them to come and kill him. Basically.
Okay? This is not that scenario. That's not what he was doing.
What he's doing. He wasn't provoking anyone to go kill him.
Not at that time.
Besides that, the situation, these people aren't even people that ever had a grudge against him. These are not the
So it's not relevant to
ever called.
But you know what it is? They probably don't even know that.
They don't.
Because they didn't follow.
They don't.
They don't even know the story.
That's the problem.
Anyway, let's listen to this dumb shit.
Wait. Just know death is coming for everybody. And
Okay.
I know, you're listening like, I don't hear this today. But hear this. If you're playing with death like it's something to be toyed with, I'm giving you the biggest. You're a liar. Congratulations.
So they flipped this shit into a radio segment.
The congratulations, you played yourself is a thing they do. It's
basically a rip-off of Donkey of the Day.
This is not the place.
To put it in the tag?
If you in this way, I prefer the Rumor Report version. You put a tag in front, and then you basically do your talk.
And you know what I like? What bothers me about this is that this is the same radio show with the same radios who complained about how hip hop is no longer what it used to be and it's being taken away.
It's your fucking fault.
You guys are the clowns. When some shit like this happens, and the rest of the world, like I said, the people who are not part of hip hop and don't know who he was and just heard about, oh, there's this rapper who beat up a girl once. I expect them to go, oh, well, fuck him, da-da-da. You should be the ones to defend it and be like, no, actually, that's not what it is.
And actually,
it's more complex than that.
The people I know that don't follow hip-hop were the ones that came to me and was like, I heard about this rapper, I've been reading about it, and this and that. And
shit.
I'm like, yo, how do you know about X? That's cool.
That is the wild shit. All the people that are not into hip-hop are the ones speaking reasonably, and then the ones who have at least maybe one song, like all these people that are talking about commenting on X's pages and all that kind of stuff. These are people that have hip hop songs on their Twitter list, on their Spotify. These are people that listen to rap caviar on Spotify the whole fucking day. Even Spotify was fucking around. A few weeks ago, you said you don't want to promote this guy, and then when he dies, you make a whole tribute page. What the fuck?
Actually, they brought him back. They brought his music back before he died.
That's true. But they made a tribute page.
They did make a tribute.
They made
page,
a specific. The first you want to say you don't want to promote him at all because he did some shit in his life, and now he's dead. You want to make money off that shit, so you make a whole fucking page
so that because people are gonna play the music.
Yeah, no money grabbing fuckers.
It's all
can't
these
talk
people,
bad. I need to.
It's all these people in hip hop.
But it's all. But it's all money.
it's all these people in hip hop who should know what they should do. Yeah. Who should know that what to say, what to defend.
They
this
should
shit.
be the ones. I saw fucking Louis Theroux defending the dude.
Louis Theroux made a tribute.
The fucking Louis Theroux.
And then they shit on him for it. They shit on him for it. Said, "Oh, I can't believe you're defending a thug, whatever they call him." And then he's the one who actually points out. He argues with them about, well, I'm not defending any of the bad things he did, but the man, the person died. He's actually defending. He's not a. You should be doing that.
It's human fucking decency.
Not Louis Theroux, BBC documentary make.
That's what Charlemagne should be doing. Joe Budden did it. How are you the one?
It's human fucking decency.
But Joe Budden's a different story. Joe Budden is in touch with the younger generation.
Somehow he managed to say in touch in a good way, and he knows how to do this shit.
Yeah, but he surrounds himself with those people. Academics and him, they're really good friends. They used to do the everyday struggle
Academics
together.
was shitting on him because
well, they have a problem now.
Yeah, because Joe Budden said you should have helped this guy getting like he said.
Well,
Joe Budden said like he told him this kind of stuff could happen. Then Academics went on Everyday Struggle. I don't know how Everyday Struggle is still alive and kicking and
I don't watch it anymore.
But he went on there and he said on that on Everyday Struggle. Joe Budden said that he told Academics on Everyday Struggle that this could happen and that he should feel bad for it because he's in part responsible for it. And that's true.
Well, I think Joe Budden also didn't like the way Academics responded to this. Yeah. The Joe Budden podcast, go watch the Joe Budden podcast, this episode.
Best podcast out there right now, better than ours even.
And their episode on this topic, it's called just Rest in Peace, XXXTentacion. Go on. I think they addressed it really well.
They did the best.
Out of all the coverage I've seen,
the best
they addressed it really well where they talked about, they showed their respect. Only ones I saw to give a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Only ones that I saw that actually genuinely said rest in peace. And the only ones that showed their grief for the situation, but then also were still able to to give that wisdom of we do need to think about this shit,
and
of course,
then
which is fair, of course.
And then he called people out for not doing what they're supposed to do.
Of course. Let's see how far we can get through this bullshit.
We're back on 97.
And people said that XXX was playing with these streets.
People said, why don't
I don't know if that's the scenario.
You don't have the
information. And what happened with the shooting yesterday in Miami. But for anybody that can hear my voice, and hopefully I can help you today, stop playing with these streets like it's a game. The streets don't care about your rap dreams.
We've seen this time and time again. And that's why when y'all be like, you don't understand what the kids is into. You don't understand this. I understand this. Stop playing with death. And if you ain't really about these streets, don't go crying when the streets come for you. Or else I'm just going to give you the biggest.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Don't turn me into a fucking second.
Like you was ready. And I'm not saying XXX that was his zone. I'm just saying in general. Stop playing with these streets like it's so sweet.
But he wasn't playing with these streets.
I'd like to piggyback that in something related and say, if you are a human being who witnesses something horrific happen to another human being, and your gut reaction is to get out your cell phone so you can video that person taking potentially their last breath.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You are playing the part in a movie, a Black Mirror episode that I'm disgusted we even live
played this part, man. I've never said this, man.
It makes everything light.
Because the person that started World Star Q, people revered him and they love the idea that he started a platform as a young entrepreneur from Queens, right? To help young artists and people upload. That was the original premise, right?
World Star Hip Hop.
World Star Hip Hop. That's how it started. That was the original.
The word hip hop in there.
Right. It became known as when a fight happened or something crazy happened. World Star, and people put their phones up. We've talked about that on this show, how crazy that is. And because I talked about that on this show, about how crazy it is that the World Star culture was something, me and Q wasn't good. He didn't like that. He didn't appreciate me taking issue with like, yo, your site puts up trash, B. And your site has a lot of negative things on it, and that we just can't act like it's cool to just always whip out your phones when a fight is about to happen like it's a joke. And we saw the worst case yesterday with XXXTentacion after he shot. People were more concerned, so it seemed.
They filmed him. You can see it. You can basically see this man die.
Yes, it was disgusting.
And now listen, we don't know whether maybe he could have been helped. I know that you filming doesn't help though. Anything.
Congratulations. Okay. You played yourself.
They keep using the tag.
I don't. That alone
to take some time.
Off. Like,
I agree with them on the phone thing though. We talked about that.
Yeah,
just the fun. I have a problem with what Ebro said about not playing with the streets. He's like, I don't know exactly what happened, what he was doing, but I'm gonna assume it's right anyway. I'm gonna say don't play with these streets. Well, he wasn't. He wasn't, and it has nothing to do with the murder. Again,
stop trying to know everything, man. You don't know everything, so don't say you know everything. Don't go make assumptions.
6ix9ine, and again, first of all, that doesn't mean when he dies, you shouldn't have played with the streets. That's not the right reaction. I'm sorry, I don't. Even if they were, 6ix9ine's playing with these streets.
Yeah.
If that happened, I would go, hey, he was playing with these. I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid. I don't understand when when this changed in people's psychology.
I was expecting, and I still am expecting Tekashi to now come forth and say, you know what?
He said.
He said.
He did say.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says,
I don't know.
Fuck it, I'm not gonna play with this shit anymore.
Nah, fuck it. But he said he wants to think about it. There's a
Yeah,
video. He said he wants to think about it more and reconsider.
But I don't know. I don't know if it is
happen.
just a gut reaction to what happened.
Of course,
or if it is just really him really thinking about maybe changing some shit. But yeah, we'll have to see.
How was him change some shit?
We'll have to see about that.
They were close. They were close. If something like that happens to someone close to you and you're fucking around like the same way.
He was the one. The sad story is he was the one telling Tekashi to chill out, and then he dies.
Yes. Yeah.
Bullshit.
That's the sad part.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
That's gotta hit him because he knows
DMs.
that. He knows that. So he's gonna think about it. We'll see. He's gonna think about it, but
I hope so.
That's someone, for example, who is playing. I'm afraid he stops, but up until now isn't playing with these streets, and still that wouldn't be the reaction that I would have, and it still wouldn't make sense to say, if he's out buying a motorbike, you shouldn't have played with these streets. I just don't.
We don't need that shit.
The way people covered it is ridiculous. But there was a lot of positivity as well. A lot of positivity. They had a memorial for him in Los Angeles. Hundreds of people. Became a riot.
There was another.
But I feel like he would have liked to see it that way.
Yo.
No.
So,
He would have loved that, actually.
I think he even said, right? Like he said, if I ever die a tragic death and there's not 5 million kids outside the hospital trying to storm in, then, I'll never make music anymore. He said that. So he wants people to. So he wasn't at the hospital, of course. He passed away there, but this is another version of it.
Yeah.
So many people showed up. And they continued his charity as well.
Yeah, and it wasn't, just to be clear, because the YouTube video said, right, it wasn't a violent, like, hurting people, right? It's like people would do, like, they got together and they did these mosh pit, with each other, and they would stand on cars.
Playing his music.
All shit that he liked, that he did at his shows. Like, that's what they
Just
did.
one last Tentacion show.
Yeah, Tentacion show, Tentacion party.
Yeah.
Without being there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And he was, again, the charity. He was in Florida to do this big charity for, what was it? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I know he was doing charity
work. Huge
work.
charity because he's from Florida. He has a lot of respect for the city. He wanted to help people out. And they continued it in honor of him, of course, because that's his last, would have been his last dying wish, his mom said. So,
yeah,
they did that too. And it was successful.
Go listen to 17, man. Go listen to Sad. Albums on Spotify. Both albums are on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
The album is really good.
Great, but I think both of them were really good. Sad was better. And that's why I think it's powerful, is that it was improvement too.
That makes it
and
even more hurtful, man. If you
this,
he was working on an album. He's gonna drop.
He's working on another one.
We'll
see what comes out still.
Any artist that is getting better or getting to that level where they're just going to break through and do some wild shit, and then Kurt Cobain, all these other rappers, all the other artists,
Pac, Biggie, same.
All these other
they
artists
weren't done.
No, none of them. They were ready to do some wild shit.
Pac was 26, right?
Yeah,
26.
They weren't done.
It's always
if you see, for example, that like Jay-Z at this age is dropping now some of his best stuff.
Think about that.
So,
like if Jay wouldn't be able to do all of, he made some masterpieces. If you would not be able to, hip hop would not be the same.
I'm saying, and that's the sad thing. Look at the impact, but he's had his impact. He's had a impact for sure. Yeah. Not all that he would have had, but he's had definitely an impact. A lot of these young rappers you see now, that's him. That whole SoundCloud, Tekashi was the first. All of these guys.
Him and his crew. Smoke was in the
Smoke Perp,
but they're in the same crew.
Ski Mask, Ski
Mask
was
they were all coming up together.
Yeah. Smoke Perp was producing for him.
Yeah.
And
so now his guys are on XXL cover. So
he was on it the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So at least in his memory, this shit is still going on. So that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And if his new album comes out, it's gonna stream like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Curious to see what's on there. You know? They should.
I think they have to give some time, but I think they have to look at how to, because it's unfinished, and
maybe do some features on it of his friends and
maybe tributes in the end.
Better. Maybe a little bit looking at it. Yeah.
Well,
it's difficult.
Yeah. Rest in peace, X.
Rest in peace, XXXTentacion. This was 3 Angry Men. Oliver.
Nick.
Jeff.
Till next time.